Hi everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. Today I will be doing my tips for round 18 of the 2021 NRL Telstra Premiership. So last week we had a shortened round, I got 3 out of 4. This week things have taken another turn. I don't think I have to tell you everything. I'm pretty sure all of you know what the crack is with the relocation of teams and what's happening with COVID and all that caper, but it's going to be a different round and a different couple of rounds going into the future for some of the teams, especially the Sydney side. So we'll start off on Friday night, and the first match on the Friday night to kick off round 18 is the Gold Coast up against Parramatta. This one's being played at Seaboard Super Stadium. It was going to be played at Seaboard Super Stadium anyway because the Gold Coast were hosting this one. Parramatta sit 4th on the table, Gold Coast are in 10th. Parramatta have won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two sides. The Gold Coast have only won 3 of the last 10 games in total for them. They did have that big win over Canberra though, but besides that, they've conceded a lot of points in the games that they've lost. And up against the Parramatta team that can score points, I'm going to go for Parramatta to win. I'm going to go for them to win between 1 to 12. They've got the likes of, I think, Reid Marnie's coming back. Also, Clint Gutherson should be playing because he's 18th or 19th man for New South Wales. I just think that Parramatta will be too good for the Gold Coast on the Friday. The next game on the Friday sees Manly-Warringah up against St George, and this one is being played in Queensland. I think it's going to be played at the Sunshine Coast Stadium. So St George love playing against Manly. In the last 10 encounters, St George have won 7. St George have won the last 2 games in a row, but they did have that COVID situation. Paul Vaughan sacked, 13 players fined. Some of them have got suspensions where they're going to have to take turns having a suspension. So it's thrown St George's season in a disarray, whereas Manly sit 6th on the table at the moment. They're playing quite well. They had that bump in the road last week against Canberra, but they did have a couple of players out due to state of origin. I will go Manly to win this match. I'm predicting that some of the players, I think Tom Trbojevic will back up on the Friday night. So I will go for Manly to win. I'll go for them to win 13 plus. I like the way that Manly are playing, and I think that they'll get the job done over St George. On the Saturday, we've got 3 games. The first one is Canberra up against Cronulla. And Canberra love playing against Cronulla. They've won their last 5 meetings against CRONULLA-SUTHERLAND. Canberra sitting 11th at the moment, but you'd think with the way that they've been playing this year that they wouldn't even be in finals contention, but they're just outside the top 8, a couple of wins and they're inside the 8. Cronulla have been playing quite well over the last 6 weeks. They've won 5 of the last 6 games. They had that win over New Zealand last week. So this is really a toss of the coin game. Both sides are going to be looking to... Cronulla's going to be looking to stay inside the top 8. Canberra's going to be looking to try to get into the top 8. It's going to be a good match. But I will go for Cronulla to win. I'll go for the Cronulla to win between 1 to 12. I think that overall they've been playing better between the two sides. Canberra did have that win against Manly, but it was without a couple of players. And maybe that's masked a couple of things, I don't know. But I will go for Cronulla to win. The second game on the Saturday is North Queensland up against Sydney Roosters. So this sees the 5th placed Eastern Suburb Sydney Roosters side up against North Queensland that are in 12th. North Queensland have lost the last 4 games. Sydney Roosters had that win over Canterbury last week. With East, they just keep marching on. I mean, they've got so many players out through retirement or through injury. They have welcomed back a couple of players, but with Trent Robertson at the helm, they just keep showing up and they keep winning games, and they're doing really, really well to be where they are on the ladder, considering that's all that's gone against them this year. North Queensland, they've had an up and down season. I will go for East to win this match. I'll go for them to win 1 to 12. I think the way that the two sides are going at the moment, I think East have been playing better, and I think that they're doing really well this year considering all that's happened, and I will go for them to win on the Saturday night. The final game on the Saturday sees Melbourne up against Newcastle. So Newcastle are just outside the top 8 in 9th place. Melbourne are first at the moment. Melbourne's, I think they're on a 13-game winning streak at the moment. Newcastle have looked a bit better since they've welcomed back some of their players like Mitchell Pearce, Keelan Ponga and all that. I can only see this match going one way though. I will go Melbourne to win 13 plus. I don't think Newcastle will trouble Melbourne on the Saturday night. The first game on the Sunday sees New Zealand up against Penrith. So it sees second place Penrith up against 13th place New Zealand. Penrith have won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two sides, and New Zealand has lost the last 5 games in a row. I see this game only going one way. I know that Penrith's got a few players involved in the State of Origin, but I'm expecting all of them to back up. And I will go for Penrith to win. I think that they can win 13 plus over New Zealand on the Sunday. The second game on the Sunday sees Brisbane up against West Tigers. This one sees West Tigers 14th place on the table up against Brisbane, who are 15th on the table. West have lost the last 3 games in a row. Brisbane had that very, very vital win over Cronulla, and coupled with the bye, it was a massive week for them. They've pulled away from that wooden spoon zone. All they need, I think, is another couple of wins and they're safe this year from getting the wooden spoon. This is a real toss of the coin game. It could be a game where West Tigers show up. It could be a game where Brisbane show up. But I will go for the home side. I will go for a bit of an upset. I will go for Brisbane to win 1-12 over West Tigers on the Sunday. I think that Brisbane would have got a lot of confidence after beating Cronulla, and they know that their destiny's in their own hands, and they can avoid that wooden spoon if they get 1 or 2 wins to close out the year. So I'm going to go for Brisbane to win 1-12. And the final game to close out round 18 sees South Sydney up against Canterbury Bankstown. So South sitting 3rd on the table at the moment. They've pulled away from Parramatta, who were in 4th. Canterbury Bankstown are dead last. It's looking increasingly likely that they're going to have to win at least 3 games and hope that Brisbane don't win a single match for the rest of the year. They did try hard last week against Eastern Suburbs, but they just didn't have the players and they just didn't have the class, I think, to get over the line. South Sydney have won 5 games in a row. That left edge for South looks very good, and I'm pretty sure they'll be going down that side of the field against Canterbury quite often. I'm going to go for South to win 13 plus. I think that South will win comfortably over Canterbury Bankstown. I don't think that Canterbury Bankstown have the players or the talent or the class to match up with South. But anyway, that's my tips for round 18 of the 2021 NRL Telstra Premiership. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below and let me know your tips. Anyways, this is Rugby League History signing off, and I'll catch us all later in the next one. Alright, tatty bye now.